So just about every project that I do starts off about the same way. I select a topic. Like most people, I might go on the internet and start Googling things about my subject and looking for subject matter to support it, resources, articles, books, what have you. Um, and generally what I end up doing is saving just about everything I can find to a PDF file and creating folders on the computer that I just kind of stuff them all into and try to organize them in a way that makes it easier for me to find them, to access them when I'm ready to use them. And typically that will look something like this. So not horrible representation of organization. I've got, all of the articles that I've collected, and I've got them titled, categorized with subtitles within that make sense to me for my paper. So this is just typically how I would go about doing it. So while I was preparing the literature review last semester, we had a couple of links to videos of what a literature review was about, what was the purpose of it, how to go about putting one together, and those were all great and fine and dandy. And then I came across one video that dealt specifically with how to organize your data. And I am an organizational freak and always looking for a bigger and better way to keep things organized. So I thought, all right, well, let's give this a shot and see what this is all about. So as it turned out, this video introduced something called a literature review catalog. And what that is a spreadsheet format that helps you to organize all of your resources and articles and such that you've put together. So I've become quite dangerous with Excel over the past couple of years, and I thought, all right, well, let's give this a try. So I went ahead and started to create my catalog, and this is what it started to look like. So you can see here, I've got my columns with the headings across the top, date of the article, the authors, titled, a summary, some keywords, the conclusion, and then I've added the relationship to my topic and the research method. So all these in attempts to categorize all this material that I've collected for my literature review. And it's been incredibly helpful. I can sort it any way that I want to, by author, by date, by relationship, by research method. So this was great. This was really fantastic. It worked out well for me. I thought I was really onto something. So then I get to this class, and we get to this assignment, and I find the section in the text about the literature map. And I thought, well, all right, another way to do it. Let me take a look at this and see what this is all about. And my initial reaction was, well, this seems like a whole lot of work for a pretty little picture that isn't going to tell me a quarter of what I've got on my catalog, my literature review catalog. So, but I'm also creative, and I like to play around with PowerPoint and such. So let me just see what I can come up with. So this is what I came up with for my map. So you can see here, first of all, it's got to have a lot of color because it can't be boring, anything that I do. And I started off kind of following the same format as what was in the text. So up here is my, topic, impact of hiring relatives in the workplace. And from there, I tried to break it down into the predetermined subtopics that I had in my literature review, what I had already determined in my paper from last semester. And the first thing that I figured out as I was going through and trying to create some subtitles and sort through my articles and see where they fit into each one of these types of subtitles was I really kind of didn't have very good topics in my literature review. They didn't accurately reflect what the topic of my paper was, not to the degree that I wanted it to. So in doing this map, the first thing that I did was I was able to narrow my focus and really kind of get to the core of some of the things that I want to talk about in my paper and in my study. So I changed up some of these titlings, got to work on trying to find the subtitles and getting all the articles and categorized appropriately, and to create this picture, this mental map. And what I ended up discovering was that the purpose of my study, if you follow this line going down and around, is a gap in the literature. And the gap is on the perception of hiring relatives. So I won't get too much into the study and what that's going to be about, but my point is that I wasn't real excited about doing this map. I thought I had a system that worked well for me. And the more I got into it and the more I started to play around with it and really dig deep into the organization of it, I found out a lot of things about my paper that I was missing. So there you have it. There is my map. Look forward to looking at some of your maps and kind of poking into what you all have come up with. So thank you very much, and I welcome your comments.